Welcome. In today's episode, what I want to speak with you about is 10 years of therapy experience, and I'm going to give it to you in under 30 minutes. So, if you're someone who's been curious about whether or not you should go to therapy, or maybe you're just someone who's looking to feel good and find a resource which can help you feel good, then this video is going to help you a great deal. 10 years of therapy in 30 minutes. Let's go. My name's Adam Holmes. I'm a songwriter from Edinburgh in Scotland. Over the last 15 years, I've made 10 albums. I've built 800,000 followers. I have a wee girl. She's 7 years old, and I'm a good dad to her. My relationship with her is probably my biggest achievement. And therapy is the one guiding force which has helped me through life. And here's my promise. If you apply these 4 principles for the next 30 days, your life will change. Is this a replacement for actual therapy? No, of course not. But you're still going to get a lot of value out of today's episode. Now, the first principle I want to talk about, if I was whittling down how to get the benefit of a therapeutic relationship in a short space of time, would be quite simply, your parents did their best. As someone who came from a particularly disadvantaged background with regards to my upbringing, the first and most pervasive truth which therapy really helped me understand was just my mom did her best. She was a single parent. There was 8 of us, and she did her best. She did the best she could do. I had to reframe my own bitterness and reclaim agency in my life. I had to write a letter to her. And this is something that really helped me. Not sending letters rather, but writing letters to people who I would never write a letter to. I remember, by the way, feeling really scared before I first went to therapy. I remember sitting in Princess Street Gardens about to get the bus to go to therapy, and I was shaking because my whole life up to that point had kind of been a mess, honestly. Throughout my early childhood, I was growing up in a very stressful, chaotic environment. And then throughout my 20s, having experienced more grief than most people experience in a young life, and having experienced addiction issues and undiagnosed ADHD and lots of other traumatic stuff, I just let it all build up to where I began to feel as if I was like a bucket of water with lots of holes in it dripping everywhere. And I had to find a way to help myself. And the first thing that you have to do is admit that you need help. Now, for me, the way that my negative behavior was showing up in my life was I was falling out with people close to me. I was engaging in unhealthy behaviors with drink and drugs and smoking. And I wasn't able to take responsibility for myself. So at the age of 22, just after my dad died, I decided that I would go to therapy. And I find myself sitting in Princess Street Gardens just nervous about going there. And I went the first time, and I ended up not going back. I didn't go back to therapy for about 18 months after the first time I went, because I just found it too much, man. I just found it too intense to be there. It just felt really uncomfortable. And so I go once, I leave, I come back 18 months later, and we start working on my mind. And the first lesson I got from therapy is just awareness. The simple truth that your perceptions of the world are not how the world actually is. Your feelings about the world that you live in are not the same as how the world actually is. And so speaking to someone and seeing myself reflected in the mirror of therapy, I was able to release my mother to some extent from the blame. Because here's the thing, you can blame someone, that's fine. No one's going to stop you, and lots of people are, but it's not how to reach your own personal power. It's not how to live the life of your dreams. So I wrote a letter to my mother when I was 22 years old, and that helped me tremendously to release her from the blame that I was holding her in. Now, the insidious thing about blame is when we're making other people responsible for our problems, it means that we don't have to work on it. It means that we don't actually have to get better at the things that we want to get better at. So it's a false reward system because it allows us to avoid responsibility. And that's the good thing. But the bad thing is it allows us to avoid responsibility. If you want to feel good in your life, one little sentence you can say to yourself consistently is, I am responsible. Reclaim agency. That was the first principle. And if you start to reclaim agency in your life across the next 30 days, if you repeat to yourself, I am responsible no matter what, you'll be amazed about how quickly your life can turn around. Principle 2, I had to stop avoiding things because what you avoid controls you. What you avoid controls you. I was very avoidant. I'd become a very avoidant person. And there was one thing primarily that I was avoiding, and it was my emotions. And once I started to make space to process my emotions and experience them, I realized that actually I didn't have to avoid them. I didn't have to avoid them with drink. I didn't have to avoid them with drugs. I didn't have to avoid them with negative relationships. I could just let my feelings come up, warm myself by the fire of my own emotional states, look at them, decide which ones I wanted to carry with me and which ones I wanted to let go of. And the more you avoid fear in your life, the more it will control you. So if you were going to pick an exercise that could help you to move through your own fear, what I want to recommend is that you begin to expose yourself to your fears in a safe and healthy way. So if your fear is public speaking, I recommend that you sign up for a class on public speaking, or you sign up to simply give a public speech regularly. If your fear is working out in the gym, then I recommend that you get a gym membership. Whatever you're afraid of, move towards it. That's where the real gold of life lies. If you're afraid right now of losing weight, you ought to lose some weight. If you're afraid of working out, go work out. If you're afraid of being out there publicly, get yourself out there. One of the core principles therapy taught me, and the most important lesson I got, was simply move towards the things you're afraid of. And in that journey is where your best life, your most evolved life is. I believe we are here to evolve beyond our base level instincts because we have the capacity as humans to build our minds and reclaim our agency in a way that many other animals don't have. And the easiest way to do this is to work with someone. By the way, none of what I'm saying today counts as therapy. This is just me sharing my experience. If you're looking to really change your life, go work with a real therapist. That would be my recommendation. That said, if you're enjoying this kind of content, come and join my club where I put in every single week, weekly coaching videos. I put in all my musical content. We have a community in there. And if you want to join Comment Club, it's $2 a month, which is fair enough. And if you want to join Comment Club, or click the link in the top comment, come and join us. The third principle I learned through therapy, which helped me, although it hurt me, and many of the things that really help you in life initially hurt you, was no one's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. I can remember sitting on a grassy hill waiting on Rosa's mum to come back. This was before I'd done EMDR. My daughter Rosa and her mother had been away somewhere, and I was just in the worst mindset. And I kept saying to myself, I was in this kind of excruciating pain. I kept saying to myself, who's going to save me? Who's going to save me? And eventually this voice came in and it said, I'll look after you. I will look after you. Now, some people would say that voice was God. Some people would say that voice was nature or a higher power or your consciousness or a more evolved aspect of the mind. But the reality is, whatever it was truth. Wisdom feels kind. Wisdom does not feel negative. So if you're having a lot of thoughts and they're putting you in a very negative headspace, you can predictably and confidently know that that is not wisdom, because wisdom comes to you often with a softness. This voice felt incredibly strong, but incredibly soft. And it said, I'll look after you. I've got you. That's really what you want. You really want to marry yourself. So if you're using a relationship or a relationship with someone in your family, or the hope of a goal, or the hope of a dream, or the hope of some kind of financial goal to give you a feeling of safety, you're never going to feel safe, because your sense of safety is tagged to the external world, an external force that you can't control. What you can control is your mind. You can control how you show up in the world with your attitude, and therapy is the way that you can do that. So one of the main ways that I got into taking responsibility for myself was simply just focusing on solutions. So anytime anything came up for me which felt like I didn't know how to handle it, I would just get into a solution mindset as quickly as humanly possible. And I'm no different now. So anytime anything happens in my life and it feels like a negative thing, I just flip myself into a solution-based mindset as quickly as humanly possible. Principle 4 that I learned from therapy: love for yourself is not about bubble baths. It's not about wearing fluffy slippers or chilling or relaxing. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes it's about working hard, but ultimately it's about looking after yourself like you're someone who you really like. Treat yourself like someone who you care about. The care loop is care, win, respect, more care. You want to be in a positive loop of confidence, and confidence comes from moving towards things which are uncomfortable consistently and gaining respect for yourself. If I was going to give you a toolkit, I would say for your body, 10K steps a day, eat protein, and train strength training 3 times a week. If you can't get to a gym, just do push-ups or body weight squats. Mind, 5 minutes a day, what matters most. Journal. What did I do well today? What did I do badly today? 5 minutes a day. You can absolutely do that. If you do it at the start of your day and the end of your day, you'll notice an amazing difference. Money, a weekly 30-minute money date with yourself. Look at your money. Where's it going? What are you spending? What's coming in? How can you increase it? Be intimate with it. Treat it like something that matters. Look after it, and it will look after you. Emotions, name it to tame it. What is the actual emotion you're feeling? Do you know the difference between drama and circumstances and feelings? Because a feeling is a vibration in your body, right? Like I can feel overwhelmed, exhausted, anxious, afraid, dread even. I can feel embarrassed. I can feel any emotion, and it is a vibration in my body. Now, what most of us do is we show up in life with a massive story. This happened, that happened. You can always tell when someone's got a story because they're desperate to tell you. It's the number one rule of victimhood, is you have a massive story about why it's not possible for you to do the thing that you want to do. And it's a great way of giving up responsibility for your dreams. But if you want to live your dreams, you have to take responsibility. The final thought I want to leave you with is that life is contrast. Life is supposed to be contrast. Life is never, ever perfect. You're never going to reach a point where life is perfect and you no longer have problems. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to reach one stage of life and you're going to notice that some things are good and some things are bad. And that's how life works. No matter where you get to, even if you make more money, lose the weight, move house, have a kid, your kid leaves home, your kid comes back, whatever your circumstance is, it's going to be 50-50. I was happy and sad half the time before my dad died, and I'm happy and sad half the time now. I was happy and sad half the time when I was broke. I am happy and sad half and half now that I have money. I was happy and sad when I was a construction worker, and I'm happy and sad now I'm a musician. So once you stop expecting life to give you a perfect circumstance somewhere, what you're going to notice is that you can just relax into your life. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, guys, let me give you a little recap, and then we can get into some questions if anyone has any questions. So, recap. Make a promise to yourself that you're going to treat yourself like someone who you truly care about. Acknowledge that your parents did their best. And the more charged that statement feels for you, the more important it is that you admit that. Trust me, I get how tricky it is. I understand. But you have to accept they did their best. It's on you now. Your adult response is to rewrite the script, not choose the old script. And if you don't rewrite the script, you're living in a script you didn't write. Is that what you want? Write a script you want to live in. Number 2, stop avoiding what controls you. Avoidance grows fear, exposure builds confidence. Of course, what I'm recommending is for safe areas of life. Exposure builds confidence. Move towards the healthy things that you feel afraid of. Number 3, no one is coming to save you. Mantra, discipline is self-love. Discipline is self-love. Mantra, I am responsible. I'm responsible. I am responsible. Number 4, love is care in action. Love is not woolly. Love for self. Love is not woolly. Love is not bubble baths. It is not fluffy dressing gowns. It is brushing your teeth, eating the right food, doing push-ups, going for a walk, not doom scrolling. It's what you don't do. It's not eating junk food. It is looking after yourself like you're someone who you actually like you're someone who you care about. Toolkit, body, 10K steps, eat protein, 3 times strength training. Mind, 5 minutes. What did I do well? What did I not do well in your journal? 3, money. Your weekly 30-minute money date. Look at your money. Stop avoiding it. If you look after your money will look after you. Emotions. Name it to tame it. Emotions are a vibration in the body. Your circumstances that you bring to the conversation are drama. They're not feelings. You can have feelings and still show up for your business. You can have feelings and still be a patient parent. To be impatient and show up for your kid in a patient way is patience. To feel scared and show up is courageous. The presence of negative emotion often is an indication that you're actually on the right path. There's a great saying where they say only good parents feel like they're doing a bad job. Think about that one. It's the same for business. It's the same for emotional regulation. I hope you got some value out of today's chat. If anyone has any questions, I'm just going to have a quick look in the chat. And if anyone has any questions, good morning. Feels like I'm sitting in a meeting. I don't know what that means, but it's a meeting of 2 minds, my mind and your mind. Listen, God bless you guys. If you want more content like this, if you want all my musical content, if you want to be influenced in a positive way, if you want a safe space on the internet, come and join us in the club. It's $2 to join. If you want to join, click the link in the top comment. And if you're watching on Facebook, then comment club and I shall send you a link. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Peace.